Here we're going to be looking at different types of firearms, a couple that we see silhouetted here in the title slide image. So first off, we're going to start with handguns. So a handgun is a short-barreled firearm that can be held and used with one hand, as the name implies. Most common subcategories of handguns are called revolvers and automatic pistols. I'll get to those in the next slide. United States and some other countries, the handgun are widely available by civilians and commonly carried for self-defense because they're easy to conceal on a person. So comparing those two types of handguns, we have revolvers and we have pistols. So the revolver is a kind of sometimes called a wheeled gun because it is a handgun that has a revolving cylinder. It looks like a wheel. It contains multiple chambers. The pistol, this is the revolver, and the pistol is a single barrel handgun that carries cartridges in a stacked magazine that is stored within the handle of the firearm. So here we kind of see that magazine being stored in that pistol, and here down here we see three examples of revolvers. Looking specifically at the revolver, that is fed the ammunition via that cartridge-filled cylinder, where each cartridge contains its own ignition chamber. We see the one emptied out here. These cylinder chambers normally number between 5 and 8, depending on the size of the revolver and the size of the cartridge being fired. And as the cylinder kind of rotates around about the axis, that bullet is fired, and the cartridges or the shells are contained within the revolver cylinder. Now, Colt's a very famous firearm, favorite revolver, and this is the Colt building located in Hartford, Connecticut. Looking at pistols now, a little more detail. The recoil force of the semi-automatic pistol is used to push the slide back and eject the shells so that the magazine spring can push another round up. What does this mean? Well, this top portion will actually slide back and then it will allow the bullets to be rechambered up through the magazine. Remember, that magazine is stored and concealed within the handle. That magazine is simply we see pictured here as a device for storing cartridges, keeping the firearm loading into the chamber. There's a spring in here, and it will eject one bullet, and it will cause the next one to be able to chamber into the round there. Now we get into something called rifles. Rifle is a single-person portable long-barreled firearm designed for accurate shooting. And as this much longer barrel here allows for that bullet to be kind of confined for a longer period of time, allowing it to be more accurate. The barrel has a helical pattern of grooves or rifling cut into the bore of the wall, causing the bullet potentially to spin, which helps keeps the focus and accuracy of that bullet. This is why you see typically scopes, because these are typically used for long range. It's held, there's a buttstock here, it's held against the shoulder allowed for stability. Because this is such a long barrel and is being so accurate over such a long distance, typically these longer barrel rifles are better for accuracy for long range, and that's why they have a better stability in their natural way that you would hold them. Then we get into assault weapons. So an assault weapon is a fully automatic machine gun. It's defined by the ability to fire multiple bullets with a single pull of the trigger. So simply by pulling that trigger once and holding it, it will fire multiple rounds. These are automatic firearms that have been used and severely restricted since ownership, since 1934, even though they're widely used for machine guns. Very common names are the M2 Browning machine gun. That's the top image here. You can see a lot of rounds through here. And then down here we have the M16 family, which is often confused with the AR-15. So if we look here at the image here, we see these are the M16s, but in the next image I'm going to show you the AR-15. These are the AR-15s. So a lot of times these are referred to as assault rifles, but these, while they may look like an assault rifle, look like a fully automatic machine gun, they are not. The AR-15s rifles, by law, function like other semi-automatic civilian sporting firearms in the sense that they only fire one round per each pull of the trigger. So you have to keep pulling the trigger to fire rounds. A true automatic machine gun, you'd pull the trigger once and it would fire as many rounds as you can feed it. However, the AR-15 does look like many military rifles, such as the M16, so that's why there is this source of confusion. The AR-15 has been commercially sold in America and publicly since the 1960s and are commonly owned, with more than 16 million modern sporting rifles owned by civilians as of 2018.